All right, we are back. So, this trip, I don't know if I was nervous. I don't think I was nervous. I was excited. It was gonna be like my second longest trip of the whole trip. And I was doing good. It was beautiful. Most of it was on the shore. So I was riding along the beach a majority of the time. I stumbled upon a veteran site I think it was Connecticut still, yeah. That was right on the beach. It was honoring Korean and Vietnam War veterans. And my grandfather was in the Korean War. My father was in the Vietnam War. So those meant something to me. Like, I just support all veterans, especially the ones that fought in those wars. Because, a lot of them didn't have an option. So there's like like, part of my whole supporting veterans thing is and this is part of it. There's a whole big thing of why I support veterans. But part of it is, especially Vietnam War, Korean War, any of those wars that a lot of the time people didn't have a choice to sign up for those wars. And they were just thrown in there. And yeah, maybe a majority of them did. We don't know. We don't know everybody's story. Maybe a majority of them did and were pumped that they got to go. And honestly, I wish I could study people like that, like just talk to them. And you don't know. So you have to kind of be empathetic to the fact that back then, other people didn't support these men going to war. And some of them didn't have a choice. And that's kind of like, take the war part out of it. Just respect the fact that they fought for your country. A lot of them with no choice at all. But even if they did have a choice, respect their choice. At a time like that, where people where it was probably scary to sign up for that and to go over. Like, I can't even imagine going into those wars. Like, the things that were happening. They deserve everybody's respect for that. Like, I'm sorry. Regardless if you believe in war or not, your political views, they deserve everybody's respect. Like, you should be holding the door for every single veteran. You should be, honestly, you should be on one knee thanking them. But we won't go that far. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be on a knee. But you should thank them. Like, and if you don't understand why you should thank a veteran or be supportive of veterans or be appreciative of a veteran, you need to do some research before you quickly just say F veterans or like, bah! Can you tell my mind is all over the place right now because I'm fumbling words. I can't even put a whole thought together because I wasn't planning on talking about that. But whatever. I rode past it and it was great. This was a very hilly ride as well. You know what? I should just keep my Strava open so I can see. This one was really hilly. It was 3,749 feet, 8 hours riding time. The ride itself actually took about 12 hours, just like with stopping, with oof. So it was tough. It hurt. It was very hilly. My chain ended up not breaking, but the gears got weird. And I don't know if it was from the rain as well, but I couldn't get into the lowest gear, which is the gear that I usually get into to go up a hill, because it takes a lot of the pressure off of my quads. So that gear stopped working. So now I'm having to stand, which I hate doing. But it's honestly, I'm learning to get better at it. I've been getting stronger at it. Like, now I can fly up hills after this trip. So I'm standing because I can't get into that lower gear because it's not shifting into it. And I don't want to break the chain. But so I'm just like pushing through this ride, and it's hot. This whole trip was hot. But the scenery is beautiful. Connecticut, like I never even knew about this part of Connecticut. That's how uncultured, not cultured. I don't know the word. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I didn't even know these parts of Connecticut existed. It was beautiful. Richie Richville out there on the shore. There were farms too. Like my favorite part of this trip was going the back roads of these places like friggin' Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and seeing all like the back roads and the farms that I didn't know existed, and then just these beautiful houses with all this land. Like that's what I want. I don't want one of these mansions. I want one of these nice size, decent size house, like 4-bedroom, huge kitchen house with just a porch, and you got all this land. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. My chain ended up falling off going up this hill, but it didn't break. I was scared that it broke. It didn't. I got back on. So then I entered New York, and literally the last 10 miles just friggin' hurt. Because I swear the last 10 miles is where so much of the elevation came from. And I was just like, there would be moments I would just sit and have to like pep talk myself to finish. Like there wasn't like the last 10 miles, I just wanted to tell him to come pick me up so bad. But I didn't, and I fought through, and I rode for veterans every day. I didn't mention that. I before I left for the trip, I asked people. I went on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the Mission 22 Facebook page, and just asked in Twitter if anybody wanted me to dedicate miles to people. And I had so many people, which was sad but beautiful at the same time, that they wanted me to do it. So every day I was riding for different veterans, and I would use their strength to push me through, and I would call on them, and I would be like, listen, guys, come on. I'd be like, all right, guys, we got 10 miles left. Let's do this. I need you here. I was like, God, I need them here with me. I do. And I would get the strength to keep moving. And you don't have to believe in what I believe in, but I do believe that they were with me. The men and women that I had for my rides, I do believe that they were with me. Obviously not physically, but I do believe that I had their strength, and it pushed me through. Yes, it could be mental, but I believe they were with me because they were, especially that 80-mile ride. When I hit that 73 miles, which was my past record, I just sat there and I was just like, it's hard. You start remembering, how long did this mile take me? How long does a mile actually take me? And then you look at I look at my navigation, and it says friggin' an hour and a half for this next 10 miles. And I'm like, and I always thought about work, and I would think about the rides that I take to work. I know how long 5 miles is. I know how long 5 miles takes me to ride. And I would think about that, and I'd be like, and everything would go through my head. Like everything, I would think about so many different things, and I'll be up and down. Like, you can do this. No, you can't. You can do this. No, you can't. Stop. Call him. Keep riding. Push forward. You don't need to stop. What are you doing this for? If you quit, why? What was the whole point? And those are all the thoughts going through my head. And you know what? I saw a meme once. It said something about like crackheads. People out here calling cycling a sport. Give a crackhead a bike and he can beat Tour de France or something. No. Unless you have ridden a bike certain distance, be quiet. Don't even talk about how easy cycling is. Don't even talk about it. Because yeah, it's biking a few miles is easy. But when you're in your head at 80 miles and you're just hot and you're thinking of everything, I'm thinking of the next day. I'm thinking of what if this happens? I'm thinking what's happening with Brinks and the other dog. You're thinking of every single thing. Your mind is trying to get you to quit. And you are able to fight through that and push through that. You're a different kind of person. You beat those thoughts, if you can beat those thoughts, you can beat anything. And I did it. It was about 12 hours of a ride. Mainly because I was doing a lot of stopping and recording videos because I wanted to record things. But I was also posting on like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, just to keep everybody up to date with what I'm doing. So I made it. Yay. Another bootleg hotel. Wasn't as bad as the first one, but it wasn't. I couldn't wait to get out of there. Let's just say. Then next day, so on these rides, my friend was recording. I asked him if he could record when I arrived to each destination because I wanted some memories. Like, this is my trip. I don't have anybody to record me while I'm on the bike trip. Like, while I'm riding the bike, I can't capture those memories of me riding. Like, all I can get, I can get some selfie videos, but I didn't have much. So if I could have him record me when I got there, that'd be fine. So he was doing that. Still kind of stopping to see if I needed anything. Still snoring, keeping me awake. So the next ride was from New York to New Jersey. And honestly, before this ride, I hated New York. If you talked about New York, I'd say, ugh, I don't ever want to go there again. I hate being there. It's disgusting. Whole different outlook when you ride a bike through New York. Not even joking. Like, it was so beautiful. I rode through Yonkers, the Bronx, New York City. I'm sure some other places. But those ones I remembered, like, it was pretty cool. It was like a straight ride for the most part. It was very hilly again. Let's see, that ride was not as hilly. It was 60 miles, 2,054 feet elevation. 6 hours riding time. I got to ride over the George Washington Bridge. But hold on. Going down the street. No, yeah. Hold on. I did. George Washington Bridge was first. And it was so cool because I always remember driving over that bridge, and it's not the same feeling when you're riding a bike over it. I was just like, this is so cool. Like, the views, you were riding past so many other people cycling. Not many people walking that day, but there were a lot of people on bikes. It was just so cool. Something that I'm very glad and grateful that I did. Just being able to see New York City from the bridge, like, at a pace was really awesome. And then I get to ride through the Bronx. Like, it was just so chaotic that it was awesome. Chewy, I just read your text. Turn my phone over. So it smelled like I could smell all the friggin' smells of New York, and it was like most of it was just food. You could smell all the culture, and there was all these vendors and street like food, and just it was so cool. Something that I've never really appreciated the culture and diversity of this country for one, but New York, like, it was so cool. Like, the Mexican people over here selling what they're selling, the people from, and you know what? I'm not gonna say, like, there's Peruvian food over here, Mexican food over here, Pakistan over here, India over here, Trinidad over here, Jamaica over here, like, just all in the same street. It was so cool. And if you're racist and you can't appreciate that, like, Get out of here. That is so beautiful to me. But it smelled great. It was so chaotic. And you'd think like, all right, weren't you scared riding there? Because it was chaotic. There were cars like that and that. But for some reason, I felt so safe riding in New York traffic. More safe than I did riding here at home on the streets of where I live. Like where all these people are just ridiculous. I felt safer there. It was so chaotic. I loved it so much. New York was it was one of my favorite days. It was. I felt good. It was just cool. It was cool to ride through New York and to be able to say that I rode my bike over George Washington Bridge. And I rode over another bridge that connected New York to New Jersey. I don't know the name of that bridge, but that one was pretty awesome too. There were 3 bridges I went over that day. So we got to New Jersey. So mind you, this is a 60-mile ride after my 80-mile ride day. No rest day. I've never done that. And I surprisingly, I felt it, but I wasn't like too sore to do it. It was great. So New Jersey was going to be a rest day. So what did we do? Not much because I was sore. I was tired. I just wanted to lay down. And now my friend, he's still snoring like crazy. I'll leave a few things out of that part. I don't have to spill all the beans on that. But things are just getting kind of tense between me and my friend because I'm stressed that I'm not getting sleep. Like, I've got rides to do. I would like to be rested. I don't want to be irritated with you the whole time. So I ended up getting a room by myself, which pissed me off even more because this was an added expense that we did not need. And yeah, so I will leave that out. I will leave that part out. So now, rest day, cool. Next ride is from New Jersey to Pennsylvania. Why can't I remember this ride? Let me see. New Jersey to PA, 70 miles. 70 miles, 3,137 feet elevation. This one, sorry, I just want to go back to the ride. I'm forgetting this ride. Let me see what it looked like. Was this the ride that this was the ride. This ride irritated me because my navigation was getting annoying. Like, it wasn't taking me around closed roads, so I couldn't go over this bridge. And so I had to turn around. That was the only way to get over. I had to turn around, and the navigation kept telling me to U-turn, instead of giving me a different direction. So I had to look at the navigation and like follow the streets and basically find my way out of there. Adding another, I think the ride was supposed to only be like 65 miles. I ended up adding on like another 5 miles just trying to find my way out of there. So I was pissed. I was pissed. Again, more elevation, like. And for some reason, I feel like that day I wasn't feeling it. Um, I'm trying to look at my videos. I just want to see. I'm trying to reflect on that day. Oh, I forgot one thing. The day after the Connecticut ride, the ride from Connecticut to New York, one of my buddies bought me a new pair of biking shoes. My feet were killing me. When I say killing me, like I don't know why I decided that it was a good idea to wear new shoes on an 80-mile ride. Killing me. So when I was leaving New Jersey to go to PA, my feet were still hurt, but my shoes were still wet, so I had to wear them. Hold on, I just want to see that day. Yes, okay, I remember. So this ride, I remember there were a lot of cornfields. Saw this. It was a lot of back roads of New Jersey I didn't think existed. I didn't know existed. Like I didn't realize there were this many. Um, I didn't realize there were this many farms in New Jersey. And then so the ride was a lot of back farm roads, which was nice. It was beautiful out. It was nice scenery that day. And then I do remember kind of getting towards the end of my ride, and not the end, but I would have these moments of thinking about what I was doing and thinking about all the veterans, and I just didn't feel like I was doing it enough. Like I didn't there was a lot of times that I had doubts about what I was doing, and I just wanted to make sure that what I was doing was okay, and like that I was hopefully helping somebody. And I would always there were moments that I would literally just doubt myself. Um and think that I wasn't doing enough, and I would just have a breakdown. So yeah, that one. Then we went to Pennsylvania. Um, it was a nice ride. That ride. I'm trying to see my little relive here. I remember there was this one part right towards the end. Like my body was just. I felt like my body was shutting down because of all the hills. I can't tell you how many times I had to stop towards the end because my body was. It just felt like I couldn't do anymore. So there was a part where my feet were killing me, my legs were killing me, and I saw this grass, and I was like, I just gotta lay down. I just gotta take these shoes off. And I was so close to the end, and I couldn't go any further. I had to take my shoes off for a second, and I sat in this grass and I laid back, and I don't know what they had on the grass, but it burnt my whole back. Like I felt like I was being attacked by ants, but there weren't any ants. So I had got up so fast and rode away. But ah, whew. Oh my gosh. And then I finally made it to Pennsylvania, went to King of Prussia. And then on my rest day, I wanted to. Oh yeah, so on my rest day, I wanted to go to Philadelphia and see the Vietnam and Korean War memorials. I wake up. So what I was doing was, if I didn't have to ride, I wouldn't get a second room, but I would get the second room on the nights before I had to ride so I could sleep. So when we got to Pennsylvania, I didn't get a second room because I had a rest day the next day. And I wake up and I come out and his dog is peeing on the floor. So I'm already annoyed because I didn't sleep that night. Yeah, I didn't have to ride, but I was still just irritated. Like hearing it just pissed me off. So I woke up and she pissed me off even more. Just disgusting. Like I don't live like this. The dog is disgusting, for one, because she's got an eye infection. Her face is split open. Like, yeah, you love the dog, but you clearly you don't take care of her like she should be taken care of. Sorry. Putting Neosporin on the dog's face, like just wiping her eye when it crusts up. No, she should have stuff for that. But that's not for me to. But so my car smells disgusting, which I'm not used to because my dog is not disgusting like that. And yeah, I'm sorry to be putting it that way, but I just didn't. It was just one other thing for me to be irritated about. And I tried. I like the amount of mental work that I was doing for everything, and it was not just that, but like I was mentally fighting everything every single day. And then just for the person that is supposed to be here for the support, just for them to have literally everything else just add on to that, it was frustrating. Yes, I was very grateful that he took the time out of his life to come help me, but it added a lot of extra stress. So she peed. I was like, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I go to the Vietnam Memorial and I go over to this part of it. And this was right after that Kyle Rittenhouse thing. And somebody had spray painted on the Vietnam Memorial. Like there were little pictures, like cartoon things, characters of, and it's a Kyle Rittenhouse and a little character with a gun. Like spray painted around the Vietnam Memorial. Like, excuse me? I'm sorry, I don't care about your views of the police. You don't touch a war memorial. What does the war memorial have to do with the police? Nothing. Don't disrespect them. I'm sorry. And yeah, you see the flags behind me. I don't care if you dislike it. I'm not one to go into my views on all that because everybody thinks they're professional and like they know what they're talking about. And my father was a police officer. My father was a chief of police, and he was in the Vietnam War. And you know what? He's black. You know what? I guarantee you, he has done more for this country and for the citizens of wherever he's worked than a majority of these people that are upset about stuff, which, yeah, you have a right to be upset, but stop including all the good people with the bad. Okay? My father, I will always respect the police because of him. And because of the good cops that I do know. Like, it's not my fault if you don't know. If you aren't open, if you can't open your mind to the good police, it's not my problem. Not my problem. You don't like my flags? You can stop watching. It's fine. But anyway, to disrespect a war memorial is just, you're a coward. You're an absolute coward. You're trash. You're a punk. You're nothing. Because one has nothing to do with the other. And then if you're that ignorant that you associate a Vietnam War memorial with police brutality, you need to go back to school. Truly. You do. But anyway, it wasn't what I expected. The city of Philadelphia needs to get that together. Like, there's too many homeless in there. And there's too many people trashing the war memorials. There's nobody that actually gives a damn about taking care of the place. Like, I saw people, like maintenance people, I guess you would call them, in there, but you could tell they did not give a damn about it. Like, they were just there to do their job. Maybe clean up a little bit of the litter, but it wasn't respected. It should be a respected place, and it pissed me off that it was treated that way. I don't care. I know there's Vietnam and Korean War memorials everywhere, and every single one of them should be treated with respect. That's not how you honor heroes of this country. That's my opinion. Well, whatever. So Um, saw that, come back to the hotel, and he's outside talking about how he's irritated with the dog because she's now peed on his bed. So I go in the room and it smells like just piss. So I went downstairs. I was like, "Can I check into my room yet?" And luckily I could. So I went and grabbed all my stuff, and he's like apologizing. He said he was out in the car crying. And you know what? Again, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're probably thinking I'm like the biggest B and I'm cold hearted. You weren't in the situation. You weren't. Like, you weren't dealing with everything. Like I said, I'm so freaking grateful that he came, and I appreciate it, but that doesn't excuse everything that happened. And it was hard for me, like, because in my mind, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm trying to look past this. I'm trying to be grateful that he's here. But it's hard to look past when a dog is pissing on a hotel bed and the room smells like piss. I'm sorry, I don't live in filth. It wasn't okay for me at all. So yeah, I was pissed. I was irritated, and he saw it in my face and how I was reacting and acting and handling everything, because it was one thing after another with this person. Like, nothing was going smooth at this point. So went to my room. Next day was Pennsylvania to Maryland. And we had another rainy day. Another rainy day. That's right. This was another rainy day. It wasn't a pouring rain, but it was raining. So this day, though, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to be ready. I put my phone, my pictures in little Ziploc bags. I put poop bags on my shoes, because I was like, you know what? No, this wasn't the day. Pennsylvania to Maryland. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. See, I gotta look at my, I think this is a good time for me to I'll pause it and then figure out what day that was, and then I'll come back. Hello?